Once upon a time, there was a group of 5 cats who were best friends. There was one white cat, one brown cat, one gray cat, one orange cat, and one black cat. They lived together in a small town, and they were always getting into mischief. One day, the cats were playing in the forest when they came across a group of wild boars. The boars were huge and mean, and they started to chase the cats. The cats ran for their lives, and they were able to escape from the boars, but they knew that they had to do something to protect themselves. So the cats went to see an old wizard named Croak. Croak was a powerful wizard, and he was willing to help the cats. He gave each of them a magic amulet that would give them superpowers. The white cat got the amulet of power, which gave him super strength and the ability to shoot lasers from his eyes. The brown cat got the amulet of courage, which gave him super speed and the ability to climb any surface. The gray cat got the amulet of intelligence, which gave him the ability to control the minds of other animals. The orange cat got the amulet of cunning, which gave him the ability to turn invisible, and the black cat got the amulet of darkness, which gave him the ability to control the shadow. The cats thanked Croak for his help, and they returned to the forest to face the boars. The cats were now too powerful for the boars to handle, and they were able to defeat them as the cats had now become heroes, and they were revered by all the animals in the forest. But the cat's newfound power soon caused problems. The white cat, with his great power, began to feel like he was better than the other cat. He became arrogant, and he started to abuse his powers. The other cats tried to warn him, but he didn't listen. He thought that he was invincible. One day, the white cat was walking through the forest when he came across a group of wild dogs. The dogs were vicious, and they attacked the white cat. The white cat was able to defend himself, but he was badly injured. As he lay there dying, he realized that he had been a fool. He had let his powers get to his head, and he had ignored the advice of his friends. He closed his eyes and prepared to die. But suddenly, he felt a surge of power. His wounds were healed, and he was filled with energy. He looked up to see the other 4 cats standing over him. They had come to rescue him. Together, they fought off the dogs, and the white cat survived. The white cat was grateful to his friends for saving his life. He apologized for his arrogance, and he promised to never abuse his powers again. The other cats forgave him, and they continued to live together in the forest, always ready to defend each other and protect the innocent. From that day forward, the white cat never forgot the valuable lesson he had learned. He understood that true power came not from physical strength or magical abilities, but from the bonds of friendship and the courage to admit one's mistakes. And so he and his 4 feline companions continued to stand watch over their forest home, ready to face whatever challenges came their way, always united and always strong. And this is how the world became a better place because of a cat. Many years later, the white cat told his story to a young cat named Snowball. Snowball was a brave and curious cat, but he was also a bit naive. He didn't understand why the white cat and his friends had to be so powerful. The white cat sighed. He knew that it was time for him to pass on his wisdom to the next generation. He explained to Snowball that their powers were not just for protecting the forest, but for protecting the balance of nature itself. He told Snowball about the ancient prophecy that foretold the coming of a great evil that would threaten to destroy the world. The only way to stop this evil was to have 5 cats with special powers, 1 for each element. The white cat represented air. The brown cat represented earth. The gray cat represented water. The orange cat represented fire. And the black cat represented darkness. Snowball was amazed by this story. He couldn't believe that he was hearing it firsthand from the legendary white cat himself. But he was also scared. He knew that if the prophecy was true, then it was only a matter of time before the great evil awakened. The white cat put a paw on Snowball's shoulder. He knew that Snowball was afraid, but he also knew that Snowball was brave. He said, "Don't be afraid, Snowball. You are part of the prophecy, too. It is your destiny to protect the world." Snowball took a deep breath. He knew that the white cat was right. He was a warrior at heart, and he was not afraid to face danger. He asked the white cat, "What can I do to prepare?" The white cat smiled. He knew that Snowball was ready to begin his training. Years passed, and Snowball grew into a strong and courageous cat. He trained with the other young cats, who would become the new guardians of the forest. He learned how to use his powers to protect the balance of nature. Then one day, the prophecy began to unfold. A great evil did indeed awaken. It was a giant monster made of pure darkness. It was the embodiment of all the negative emotions in the world: fear, anger, sadness, and despair. The monster rampaged through the forest, destroying everything in its path. The animals were terrified. They had never seen anything like this before. But then Snowball and his fellow warriors arrived. They stood defiantly in front of the monster. The battle was fierce. The monster was too powerful for the warriors to handle on their own. But then Snowball remembered what the white cat had taught him. He focused his powers and called upon the elements. The wind howled, the earth shook, the water surged, and the fire roared. And for a moment, the darkness seemed to falter. Snowball knew that this was his chance. He lunged at the monster and struck it with all his might. The monster let out a roar of pain and began to shrink. With each strike from Snowball's paws, the monster grew weaker and weaker. Finally, with a last mighty blow, Snowball defeated the monster. It vanished into a cloud of darkness, and peace returned to the forest. The animals cheered for their heroes. They knew that they had saved them from certain doom. Snowball and his fellow warriors were celebrated throughout the land as heroes, and so the prophecy was fulfilled. The 5 elements were restored to balance and the world was saved. And this is how the world became a better place because of a cat. The end. If you want to hear more amazing stories about cats, stay tuned. Until next time, keep being awesome, and don't forget to follow for more adventures. See you later. Bye.